Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of MC Eternal. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Do you know what we're missing in this game? Money. I'm always short on money, so we need to solve it today. But first we are going to require a small area in order to set up some machines, and I was thinking we do it here. And it's laggy, why? They're offline. Anyway, this used to be our power generation for the early game, and we don't need it anymore. Well, I have prepared a very small area, but I think before finishing it we should install our machines first, and then do the finishing touches. And the way that we're going to start making money is that we're going to make a dimension out of diamonds. And I do admit that I was against this solution from the start, but the problem is we have a quest in order to submit 1 billion coins, which essentially means that I'm going to need to farm 2 million dragon eggs because each one of them gives me 500 coins. But 32 blocks of diamond gives us 5,000. That might sound slightly better, but you should remember that's going to be 200,000 5,000 coins and I have to right click on them. It's kind of stupid, I know, but we are going to require a material absorber, and then we're going to require 128 blocks of diamond. For those of you who don't know, if you want to make a dimension out of RF tools, you're going to require a dimlet workbench, which we made a few episodes ago. And if you search for the material that you want the dimension to be built of, you can find what it's going to require. So for instance, blocks of diamond is going to require a dimlet base part, a dimlet control circuit rarity 5, advanced energy module, advanced memory unit, and a dimlet material type controller. And it is also going to require 128 units of the material that you want the dimension to be made out of. So this is why we need a material absorber to absorb 128 blocks of diamond. But for instance, if you want oil, you can have 128 buckets of oil. And the way that it works is that you just put it on top. This is 58% full, okay. Yes, we need 3 more. And we're done. We add it over here and we will get a material dimlet, blocks of diamond, which has a maintenance cost of 20,000 RF. Oh my goodness. I'm not worried about the 20,000 RF, but once you make the final dimension, that number is going to be like 150,000. This dimlet on its own is not going to make us a dimension. What we're going to need is a dimension inscriber, which I do not think it requires power, no. We want this dimension to be flat and we want it to be featureless, so that we can harvest it easily. So we're going to require a feature dimlet, which is none, and then we're going to need a terrain dimlet for flat. What are we missing? Oh, there you go. And finally, we're going to require an empty dimension tab. If I'm not wrong, the material goes first, then the terrain, and then the feature. And we will get OK. Because if you don't have one of them, you will get a warning. Then we put the empty dimension tab over here, we can rename it, and we can press store. So now we have a realized dimension tab for diamonds, and it's going to cost us 100,000 RF per tick to run. Nice. But there are ways to make it much more cost efficient. Most of the machines that you see from RF tools can be infused with dimensional shards using a machine infuser, and if you hold shift over them, it will tell you the infusing bonus. So for instance, a crafter has reduced power consumption. A dimension builder will have reduced power consumption and faster dimension creation speed. So obviously we are going to make a machine infuser. You can also make another machine infuser to infuse your current infuser so that it will consume less power, but we're not that picky. This guy is going to require RF. You need to put your machine inside, and you can just export dimensional shards using a hopper, and you're going to need 4 stacks. We have our dimension builder, which is 100% infused. We have our realized dimension tab, but we are going to require a bunch more other stuff. We are going to require a dialing device, a matter receiver, a matter transmitter. A charged porter is never a bad idea, and obviously upgrading it is relatively cheap. And of course, if you're going first time into a dimension, it is highly advisable that you carry a phase field generator. We are going to hook up our dimension builder to a quantum entangle porter. So you go over there, and that is the dialing device. Okay. Yeah, I left it over here. It's fine. So again, you will go over there, and it's getting RF. And I'm guessing the moment that we put this guy in, that RF buffer is going to go away. Yeah, so I'm setting it up like this because I'm thinking maybe we will have more than one dimension, and I want to keep it symmetrical, so we're going to have 2 dimension builders. It's not necessary, but that's how I like to do it. Okay, I thought this guy is going to be fun, but he's making a lot of noises. Yeah, we'll put you over there. Anyway, RF Tools has its own method of transportation, and the way it works is that you're going to require a dialing device, you're going to require a matter transmitter and a matter receiver. A dialing device will be set to a matter receiver, so it will teleport you there if you set foot on a matter transmitter. It's relatively easy. We just finished this in 2 minutes. A matter transmitter over here, and of course they can be anywhere with any distance. They don't have to be right next to each other, but this is how I want to set it up. We put the dialing device over there, and the matter receiver we put it here. And obviously all of them are going to require RF. An advanced charge porter is also linked to a matter receiver, so if we right click on you, we can just teleport back here whenever we want. Of course, we can also rename it as home so that we don't get confused. So we have a slight problem. Our power is not keeping up. Why? The dimension builder has a limit on how much RF it can receive on each side. And I didn't think it's going to be 50,000, I was hoping it will be 200,000, but it is fine. We can add more sides. That's 150,000 RF. Why aren't you charged up? Oh, it's charging up the dimension. Okay, I thought that's already done. The dimension is charged up and we're gaining a buffer. That is good. Before we go, we need to fix a few stuff. So for instance, we're going to get a crazy amount of coins. So I think this system with a conduit is not going to work, and instead we're going to directly import them into our ME system using an import bus, because that should be faster. Then we are also going to require a new task screen, and then we need to have a few ender chests, and we're going to color code them cyan. I know that light blue is for diamonds, but I'm using light blue for fertilizer. So if I give you 32 diamond blocks, I get a coin. And now I can set a filter for him, and we just give you access to everything. In order to harvest the diamonds, we're going to make a builder, and infusing it will give us increased speed. Oh, nice. We don't have 4 stacks, but we have 3 stacks and a half. That should be okay. We are also going to require a shaped card quarry, and that should be it. This guy is also 78% infused. It's okay. Since we have a lot of mods in this mod pack, I think it's also a wise decision to make a filter, so that it will only mine diamond blocks and will not mine something like, I don't know, a cave from actually additions. And just this once we are going to carry an umbrella, just in case if it doesn't rain over there. Another very important point is that sometimes your dimension might lose all of its power, and that's not very good, because if it runs out of power, you will die. And this is why we're actually carrying a field generator, because if the dimension runs out of power, we won't die instantly. We can survive as long as this guy has charge. So we should be able to dial the diamond dimension and hope for the best. Not enough power to start teleportation. What? Oh, I forgot to connect it. Okay. Yes, that was an amazing start. Okay, we try this again. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I'm already dead. I know. It's loading. A dimension of diamonds. Haha. Okay, a few points. I just remembered that I forgot to chunk load our area, so we might run out of power. And also, you see those things over there? That's what I was talking about, and this is why I'm carrying a filter. So we're gonna put you over here. We're gonna chunk load this place. We're gonna give you power, and then we need to set the quarry. It is going to mine us an area by 512 by 512 by 65, and we're going to offset you by 33. Yeah, exactly. We're going to put our filter, we put our ender chest, and we activate you. No? Now we activate you. We're getting coins. That is good. And I think the reason that it's not getting RF is, how much are you consuming? I think they changed it in the configurations, because this guy does not consume that much RF. I know that. But I think it's okay, because we already have like 100 coins. That's 500,000 coins. And we're going to go back home using a warp stone. Did I crash? No, we're fine. I just came back to our reactor area to see how much RF are we consuming, because the builder seems to be off. 320,000 RF. Huh. Means that the builder is consuming 100,000 RF. It's bigger than its buffer. For us it's okay, because we are producing 600,000 RF and we're consuming half of that. And this guy is working at 6 millibuckets per tick. And I think we can increase it a lot, because the buffers in the pipes are now full. And my tank is also full. I'm happy. Oh, and by the way, I did install a swimming module on our armor, and now we can swim really fast. Look, it's actually nice. So I have heard that these guys will suck your brain, and they will get bigger. Yeah, maybe if we regenerate health, we won't die. You're done? Well, he is actually getting bigger. This is crazy. Well, I would say now he's actually far bigger than a normal slime. I think he's now so big he cannot fit on my head. Okay, he did. I'm not sure what's the use of having a huge slime, but I like it. I worked a little bit on our RF Tools dimension room, and I do admit that it's not symmetrical, but the reason for that is very simple. We're going to have 2 dimension builders. One of them will come over here, and then we're going to have another matter transmitter over here, so that everything will be symmetrical. Anyway, I used some rounded architectural blocks for the matter receiver, and also for the transmitters we have arches. It's not the best, but you should always remember, I'm not a builder. I'm also not very technical, so I'm basically useless. Aha. And this is why some of you are wondering why am I dead inside. Anyhow, we come to the main problem at hand. My river of blood, which someone compared it to watermelon juice. Look into my eyes. Even if it does look like watermelon juice, you're not supposed to say it. You're gonna pay for that. But yes, I do admit that the coloring is off. A lot. So we need to fix it. And someone already gave me a very good tip on how to make a river, which is red. Oh, and by the way, we have almost 30 million coins. It might sound a lot, but it's 3% of what we need, so yeah. Well, you put the idea of watermelon in my head, and even with stained glass, which I would like to reiterate, it is completely red. That looks like watermelon. I think we have to fix it later on. For now, I need to take a bath. This is incredibly relaxing. Why do I have nausea? What are these voices? What's happening?
We hear you. We need focus.
Welcome to my office. Would you like some cookies? Don't worry, they're not poisonous. We have better means of entertainment. Did you know that if we use conventional weapons, it will take us 20 minutes to destroy a village? But did you know there are much better weapons? It's incredibly satisfying to watch. Anyhow, I want this. We're initiating Operation Winter Storm. Why is it called Winter Storm? Obviously, it's summer, no one will be suspicious. However, this operation is not as easy as you would think. We're going to require plutonium. There are two ways of obtaining plutonium in this mod pack, and one of them is through nuclear craft, which as usual is a crazy rabbit hole, so we're not gonna do that. The second option seems to be much better. We get plutonium ingot from plutonium dust, and we get it from small piles of plutonium dust, and we get it in an industrial grinder with uranium ore. But that's not all, we're also going to require uranium blocks. And this seems to come from a special uranium ore, which we can only find it at Y level 5. Or 4. We're also going to require depleted HECF 251 oxide fuel, but for the ultimate weapon, we're going to require octuple compressed cobblestone as well. And also a piece of bedrock, but you can buy that. So basically what I'm trying to say is that we might not be able to finish the entire operation today, but we're going to start. One of the items that I do not have in large quantities is slag, and I need it in order to make concrete. There should be a recipe for cobblestone in the induction smelter that if you use sand, it will give you slag. 100%. So obviously we are going to have an induction smelter and we are going to export sand. We give you upgrades, augments, and you should work very fast. And here is your pattern. And we can auto-craft slag. We are also going to have a sequential fabricator with the fluidic fabrication so that it can make us concrete. And believe me, this is not a sink. And here is your recipe. Concrete is not going to be a crafting pattern, it's going to be a processing pattern. So can you make me 100 concrete? Yes. But that's just basically making concrete. In order to make the structure that I want, we need to start making octuple compressed cobblestone because that is 43 million cobblestone. And I remember that previously when I was checking, a dense cobblestone generator from nuclear craft is the most efficient one in generating cobblestone because it will give you 128 cobblestone constantly. But the main problem is it's actually not very cheap. For some reason we know how to make graphite. Interesting. Also, I think gathering lava at this point is more efficient than making it. Yeah, we can autocraft lava, but it takes some time and we need hundreds of buckets. So can you make me 2? Probably not. 52 more buckets. Okay. You see, water buckets are at this speed. Lava is already gone. Okay, we have 2 of them. And just out of curiosity, how fast will you work? That's nice. That's really nice. So maybe we're going to need 2 more. We are also going to require a suitable location in order to set up our facility. And I think this desert is a nice location. Oh, witnesses. Well, this desert was a nice location, but unfortunately getting rid of the witnesses made it slightly undesirable. And I don't want to clean up. We go somewhere where there are no witnesses. Why is there a lever here? Yeah, I'm guessing I should not use this explosive that much. It's not very good for the environment. I have found a suitable location which is actually not that far from our base. This is our bewitchment area and this is the island that I'm using. And we're going to set up our base over here. But the problem is, I don't want mobs. So we're going to have an aversion obelisk. We're going to give you an octactic capacitor and we need some mobs. I don't want you, definitely you, vampires, and I cannot find a rifter. Interesting. Okay, so I prepared a very small command bunker, and this is not going to be where we're going to have the reactors. This is basically just the entrance. We're going to have an elevator inside, which will take us down to the main base. And this is called Panzer Glass, and it is blast resistance. The concrete itself is not, but Also, my idea of not having mobs spawning around here is not working very well, because there are so many mobs and there are so many variety of mobs that that doesn't work. Yeah, you see? It's not working, but the taint seed is gone. So I actually think that this time, instead of railguns, we should have rocket launchers. There's also a peaceful candle from random things which will give us mob protection in a 3x3 chunk. But that's not going to be enough, because 3x3 chunks is literally nothing. This is an area of 64x64 blocks, and they can still pathfind to me. Yes, much better. And it's also noisy, so I like it. I installed 6 rocket launchers with range upgrades, so they cover the entire island. They basically destroy everyone except the spider mothers, which I don't know why. We also have a hemp field because, green is nice. I also have some lights in the middle so that mobs do not spawn in my beautiful field. Anyhow, enough of fooling around, let's get down to business. We're going to have an elevator shaft here. We're going to have a very small area for our cobblestone generation. And then we continue downwards. Oh, we hit a cave. That's not good. And obviously, if you want to have a very secret project, you do it underground, because the chances of being discovered is much less. Also, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work, but I'm thinking we're going to have 6 dense cobblestone generators. It's not wide enough. Yeah, I would say this is okay. Then we're going to have 6 RF tools crafters. I guess you can also use compacting drawers, but crafters will do the job and they look nicer. We are going to give you a recipe for compressed cobblestone. This dense cobblestone generator is actually not as fast as you would think. I gave them 2 recipes, one for compressed cobblestone and one for double compressed. And it's so nice. It's like a battlefield up there. I just set the recipes for 2 more crafters for triple compressed cobblestone and quadruple compressed. So we're going to hook it up as well. And let us see how fast they are going to work. It's not the best. We need more cobblestone generators. Well, I did hook up the final crafter, but the problem is it's incredibly slow. Of course, this is 60,000 cobblestone per piece, but it's still not going fast enough. I mean, it will take ages before we get to 45 million. So I don't know, maybe we are going to need more cobblestone generators. Since we're going to need a crazy amount of lava, I do remember that we had a lava cow somewhere here. Over there. Hello. I'm hoping that we can milk him using a rancher. Can we? Yes. And it's super fast. Why did you stop? Oh, it's full. Okay, that is actually very good. Give me lava. Great. Can you go faster? Yeah, I guess it's faster. I mean, this guy is actually incredibly cheaty. For instance, you can have a set of magmatic dynamos and just power it with like 50 RF and you will get thousands back. With just 1 cow. It's not incredibly useful for us anymore, but early game, it would have been fun. I just made 2 more for testing purposes and let us see if it makes any difference. We put 1 over here and 1 over here. It's not significantly better, but it's not that bad. But that is nuclear craft anyway. Constant does not mean constant. It does mean constant pain. Since this is basically free lava, let's fill some drums. Well, we did get 1 sextuple compressed cobblestone, but we need much more. Although I would admit that this is not something that you can finish in 1 episode, because that's a crazy amount of cobblestone. 45 million is a lot. I made some more dense cobblestone generators, and this is the speed that we're gaining cobblestone. It's not the best, but this is as fast as we can go. I know that some of you guys might actually suggest that I would use a transfer node from Extra Utilities 2 with stack upgrades, world interaction upgrade and speed upgrades, but it is actually going to consume a crazy amount of GP, and you can only have 1. But these guys are a pain to craft, but we have almost 20 of them, and they don't consume any power, they do not require GP, and they do not require any maintenance. Also, I did set up a timer, and it seems that we're getting a quintuple compressed cobblestone every 30 seconds. That's 60,000 cobblestone. But the taint seed is back. Nice. Oh, and by the way, I did turn off our quarry in the diamond dimension because I was getting a coin every 1 second, and it's not very good when you're recording a video. But we have almost 100 million coins. It's not almost 100 million, it's almost 114 million. So I think we can hand it over, and that should be 11% of the quest done. Yes, exactly. Another very small point before we wrap up the episode is that some of you guys are asking me for a world download. The thing is, the size of our world is around, I don't know, 10 gigabytes or something, and I have to use MC Edit in order to shrink it. I want to do it after we get 16 more elytras, because we need to make the Kikoku. Because that is also one of the quests, and I never managed to get this guy in survival. So we're going to do this as well, and then I'm going to use MC Edit and you're going to get a link to the world. Anyway guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.